a lot of these breweries are opening up, and they're either not lasting or they're selling off because they put way too much money into their gear. Well, anyway, they weren't worried about that, and this place is phenomenal, like crazy. And it's the only brewery I've ever been into that has spirits. They have wine too, which some breweries have that, but they don't have it on the menus. It's not anywhere. I'm like, what are you guys doing? Why, this isn't advertising. They're like, because we're on such a small island, we didn't want to. There's a lot of people that only drink, vodka, rum, or whatever it may be. That we didn't want those people to be turned away because we only had beer.
Gotcha.
Honestly, the only brewery I've ever been into that has that, and it's pretty.
So
unique.
It's not their stuff, but they bring in, or do they distill?
Yeah, no, they have Jack Daniels.
Yeah,
they have like full on a small bar.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and it's weird, but anyway, the coolest thing that they told me about their brewery is they hired the science teacher. He's their brewer. I was like, how cool is that? I mean,
that makes for a great story.
Yeah, I mean, all those breweries have just really cool stories like that.
Yeah, that's the episode I had with Rob Stiles, who was the traveling guy who quit his job and traveled the world for 5 years with his wife.
Yeah, I remember that.
That's his. He's started a side gig with the Bobby's Beer Review, and he was telling me some of those stories about. And there's plenty around here to do, but being that he's a traveler, he doesn't want to flood it with Snohomish County, Skagit County brewers. It's like, let's get some from Hawaii and California where he's got the family and throughout the travels. But yeah, that his interaction with me, and he introduced me to a couple of them because he was getting ready to do his deal. And then they would make great interviews. And as soon as I started making those connections, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, and that's the right person to talk to because he's going to know a lot of stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his
one thing that we talked about, like cross, quote unquote, merchandising, because we're both in
cross-pollinating.
With podcasts, is I threw this idea out, and so one of my podcasts is with a group of guys from my church that I do, and that's a pretty new podcast, and we just talked about some of the small things that like the rules that people perceive, like you can't go to church because you swear, and you can't go because you smoke, and you can't go because you drink. Well, guess what? I do all those. Well, I don't smoke, but might as well. Yeah. But anyway, so we kind of talked about that. Hey, we're just a group of guys that go to church and whatever. And I pitched them, and they said no, but it might still be on the horizon. But I was going to ask you, because I'm basically the producer of the show. There's 4 or 5 of us that are on there. But I was going to ask you to, as one of the episodes, we're going to start getting into interviews and all this other stuff, to go to our church for one day.
Yeah. And
then come on the podcast and talk about it. Because I think you don't go to church, right?
Yeah.
So it'd be kind of cool. It'd be like, oh, hey, this is Josh from Good Talk Josh. What'd you think? Like, what was it? Like, it would just be weird. And we don't do the podcast based out of our church.
Yeah.
It's just us. We try not to.
You just all happen to
tied.
be at the same church, and that's how you found each other.
Yeah. And so I thought it'd be kind of cool. Like,
I would do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah.
It could even be a cross episode and maybe release it on here too. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, I still need to get the okay. I think I might actually have asked the pastor as long as he's okay with it. But mainly because it'd be hard not to say it was my church, and we already have said where we go. So anyway, I was just throwing that out there because that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, that would be. I haven't been to a other than funerals and weddings and stuff. That's kind of like the
churches are good for that. Yeah,
that's kind of been my. The extent of it, unless you count the internet ordainment that I got a couple years ago.
Oh, yeah.
So this is a church of dudism.
And I support this church.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And I think that's a good spot to throw down and end it down.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me over.
Awesome. Thank you. Oh, Rudy.
Yeah. Oh,
Cascade Podcast.
Cascade Hiker Podcast. The other one that we were talking about is Leading Life Together.
Yeah, which not being a church guy, I'll say that I've been fascinated. I don't think I've listened to all of them yet, but I've listened to a bunch. I listened to the rule breaking or the rule breaking down the rule one, and the one you did solo with or just the two of you. I think that was a back-to-back one.
Yeah,
you did, and
we tend to sit down and do a bunch of them together. But it's just it's easy to listen to, and it's like, oh man, I didn't realize like You turn around, there's probably a lot of friends that go to church. I don't tell everybody I go to church. Well, now I do because I have a podcast about it. But because people have this automatic judgment like, oh, well, I better not swear around Rudy, or I better not do whatever. And it's like, hold on, let me open my beer and shut the F up, whatever. And I always forget whether we can swear on here or not. But,
absolutely. I put every single one of my episodes as explicit. Just
I don't swear on mine, so I'm used to
censoring yourself.
But so Rudy at CascadeHikerPodcast.com is my email, and then so everything's over there at CascadeHikerPodcast.com.
Sweet. Yeah.
Hey, CascadeHikerPodcast.com.
Yeah, and check out the Facebook group and the
my
Instagram.
page. Yeah, anybody from the area would love my Facebook page and Instagram because I share a lot of pictures from hikes around here and a lot of information.
Yeah.
Like maybe a road's closed or maybe whatever. And, there's other places you can go for that. But, hey, it's me.
You got your feet in what is that called? Your hand in a lot of pots?
Yeah, as we're finishing up here, I got a lot of pots. As we're finishing up, we didn't even also talk about Skagit breaking, and
the one time you shared my thing and it hits by far the biggest thing that my website had ever seen.
Shut your website down.
That was awesome.
And then the whole fact too, we'll have to sit down and do this again because I was out, drove through, 20 minutes before the 5:30 mudslide, and we went hiking up there with my kids and stuff, and then came out to, just chaos because we were in the mountains. Like we're right there at Boulder Creek. But anyway, we'll say that.
Whoa. Yeah, that's definitely got to hit. Yeah. That's follow-up. That's our next one.
Right on, man.
Awesome. Thanks, Rudy.
I can see the valley. I can see the road we used to climb. I can see the mountains leering on the other side, and on and on and on and on it goes. I can hear the echo, I can hear the song we used to sing. I can feel the distance, living in the in-between, and on and on and on and on it goes. On and on and on and on it goes.
This song is Across the Divide by Bradford Loomis. You can check out his songs, his albums at www.bradfordloomis.com. Go ahead and download Across the Divide MP3 right over there and support him. He's over at facebook.com/Bradford Loomis Music. Links will be in the bio. Go check that out. A big thank you to Jeff Latham and all he's done for the Good Talk Josh. Everything I've done. I gotta thank Jeff. He's been amazing. He's been a sponsor from the beginning, along with Stilly Diner. Without those two sponsors, we would not be here today, and we would not be doing what we're doing. There's a lot of bright things coming up in the next couple of weeks. I am literally swamped with people wanting to be on this podcast, so I certainly appreciate all the support we're getting out there. I have some inspirational speakers, I have some goal setters, and then I have absolute fun people coming up as well. I have a few coming up that I'm a little bit worried about. I think I might get a little nutty on. So let's just go ahead and check out how this goes, and hopefully we don't lose our shit too much. Thank you everyone for listening on, and we will absolutely see you next week.